combustion GLC. It's been Mercedes' global bestseller for years. So this electric one, it's a big deal. Okay, welcome. Today we're diving deep into the source material on a really significant vehicle, the all-new, all-electric Mercedes-Benz GLC. Now, the gasoline version, the combustion GLC, it's been Mercedes' global bestseller for years. So this electric one, it's a big deal. The sources are painting this as much more than just a new car. It feels like a major strategic pivot for Mercedes.
Oh, absolutely. You can really see this launch as a clear reset. Mercedes had, well, let's say a challenging start with their initial EQ electric line, some confusing names maybe. This electric GLC signals their big fight back. They're trying to blend that, legacy appeal of the bestseller with genuinely cutting-edge, dedicated EV tech. It feels like a new chapter.
Right, a new chapter. So let's unpack that strategy. The sources keep using this phrase familiar and strikingly modern for the design. But, if familiarity is the goal, are they risking it just blending in? How do they make it feel traditional, but also clearly next-gen electric?
Well, it's fascinating because it's quite subtle. You look at some rivals, maybe like the new BMW iX3 going for a more radical design jump. Mercedes seems to be drawing on its more traditional strengths here, so the GLC keeps that classic, well-loved shape. But importantly, it is built on dedicated EV architecture. The high-tech part comes through in specific details, like that redesigned chrome grille. It's illuminated, animated. It looks premium Mercedes, not some spaceship concept.
Okay, so less look at me, I'm electric, and more integrated EV. And that ties into the adoption strategy, right? The sources suggest they're really pushing to make this the default choice. They're pricing the electric version pretty much right alongside the gasoline one. Starts around, $83,500 in Germany, plus those attractive leasing options like $556 a month. It almost forces the question, why wouldn't you pick the EV?
Exactly. If the plan is mass adoption via competitive pricing, then the performance has to back it up. You have to nail the engineering, which brings us to maybe the biggest hurdle. Range anxiety. How do you eliminate that worry?
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting for potential buyers. What are the numbers? What's backing up this promise of effortless daily use?
The specs are pretty compelling. They're clearly designed to build confidence. We're looking at the GLC 400 4MATIC offering up to 444 miles of range. That's 713 kilometers. And it's got a punchy 360 kilowatt twin motor setup. But crucially, it uses 800-volt technology.
Okay, 800 volts. For listeners, that's the architecture that enables really fast charging. So you find the right DC fast charger, and you can add, 188 miles of range in just 10 minutes. That feels like a direct answer to the biggest EV concern.
Absolutely. 10 minutes for that kind of range boost. And they've also hit a high efficiency target, about 4.2 miles per kilowatt hour. So yeah, that combination, long range plus ultra-fast charging. That's their technical solution for practicality.
Let's move inside. Mercedes talks about a welcome home feeling, real comfort. Now, a dedicated EV platform usually means more space, which is great, but sometimes the battery pack eats into cargo room or towing. Did they manage to keep the utility people expect from an SUV like the GLC?
It seems they really focused on packaging. The wheelbase is actually 3.31 inches longer than the combustion version, and that translates directly into a roomier cabin. People in the back get 1.85 inches more legroom. That's quite noticeable.
Okay, good. And the boot space, utility stuff.
Still generous. You get 20.1 cubic feet with the rear seats up. Plus, there's that extra 128-liter front trunk, the frunk. And importantly, for many GLC buyers, it retains a pretty hefty towing capacity, up to 5,291 pounds.
And the tech inside, it's a Mercedes, so you expect luxury features.
Oh, yes. The big showstopper is the optional MBUX Hyperscreen. That's their massive, nearly meter-long digital display stretching across the dash. Very immersive. Plus high-end comfort stuff like aromatic air suspension and even 4.5-degree rear axle steering for better agility, especially in town.
There was one other interior feature that stood out in the sources, strategically speaking. The vegan package.
Right. That's a key detail, I think. It's an independently certified, fully vegan interior. Mercedes is actually the first car maker worldwide to offer this certification. It speaks to that modern luxury buyer who cares about ethical sourcing, broadening the appeal.
So bringing it all together, the GLC seems this careful blend. It's got the appeal of their best-selling legacy model,
but built on genuinely advanced, dedicated EV architecture. It feels like they've learned that maybe customers want great electric performance without sacrificing that traditional Mercedes look and feel they know.
So the takeaway seems to be, this GLC is a direct response to what customers wanted. fixing some of the issues with the early EQs. It's a critical step in defining where Mercedes goes next with electric. And they're doubling down, right?
Yeah.
Sources say 4 more EVs are planned using this kind of approach.
Yeah, exactly. Which leaves us with a really interesting question for you, the listener, to think about. Is this embrace of familiar, almost traditional design rather than the radical, futuristic leaps some competitors are taking actually the most effective strategy for legacy automakers like Mercedes? Is this the key to successfully shifting their huge, loyal customer base over to electric? Something to mull over.